This art lesson is about cities. We will be talking about hot and cold colors for the background of the city. You will need pastels, or you can use crayons or oil pastels. These are chalk pastels, pencil, black marker, scissors, glue, 9 by 12 piece of white paper, 6 by 12 piece of black paper, and yellow or white paper for the windows. In this lesson, it is adaptable for 3rd, 4th, 5th, or even 6th graders. I first start talking and showing pictures of cities so that they can see how the windows in the cities and how cities began on waterfronts so that they had power and electric. I read them a picture book on looking at cities and what cities are and how the buildings overlap each other. We will first start by doing the city. The white paper will be the background. The black paper will be a silhouette of a city. They will start with rulers, and they love using rulers, and they will draw a city line that goes from one end of the paper to the other. They can start anywhere on their paper. They cannot touch the top or the bottom of the paper. They will continue with contour line that goes all the way across their paper. Talk about how buildings are different, Empire State Building and all different kinds of building that they would see. Some are small, some are large. But the contour line will go from one end of the paper to the other. They will have no scraps in this. They will cut directly on their line all the way across. Once they get their paper cut out, they will have two pieces. They will have a negative city and a positive city. They may use both parts of the city, or they may use one part of the city. They may use the negative space city or the positive space city. This is a decision that your students will make on their own. We talk about how the buildings overlap and have a lot of different buildings and how there's so many different kinds of buildings. Once the city is cut out, they can see how you have a negative city and a positive city. One city fits into the other city. They can lay their pieces out on top of each other, or they can do one piece at a time. The next part, once they have the city part cut out, they will do the background. They will fold the large piece of paper hot dog style. This would be hamburger style. Long and skinny is hot dog style. Match the edges and push down. And then when you open that up, that will give you the center. Next, you will put your hot colors on the top. Start with yellow and just rub lightly. And then orange. And you want to see all three of the hot colors, and so you don't want to color really, really hard in order for you to see all the hot colors. And then the red. So if they colored really, really hard with one of the colors, you wouldn't necessarily see all three of the other colors. This part is done very quickly. So that all the colors will be showing. Green, purple, and the last cold color is blue. Hot colors will go on top. Cold colors will go on the bottom. Next, you will be gluing your city down. And they will put the glue on the side where the white is showing. because you don't want that to show in your picture. And you glue this. This is important because they tend to glue it way up too high so that you see the space there. They glue it down at the bottom, straight across the center. This is where the children can choose if they want to use one part of their city or both parts of their city. Some will choose to use, and they can use parts of the city to move it and not necessarily have to use the whole piece. But the first part of the city needs to touch from one side to the other. The next thing they will do are windows. And I show them how to cut windows easily by cutting straight across the paper and then cutting the little pieces. They will also want to use different curved windows, so I show them how to cut a curved window. And then they can cut these pieces in half to put on their city. Have them use very small glue dots. I usually tell them for the smaller windows, and some of your students will cut very small windows, to touch one piece to the other. Their entire city will be filled with windows. Once you have all the windows glued on, they will then put the window panes in. So this is a good lesson teaching about windows and construction a little bit, about the window panes. And that's where they'll use their thin black marker. Try to make sure they try to keep their windows nice and straight. And then they will draw the window panes on. I talk about how there's different kinds of window panes. Some are vertical, some are horizontal, and how they go across the entire window. Once they have done all their window panes, then they decide what they would like to do in their foreground and background part of their picture. I have them keep this extra scrap if they do not use it. And I talk about cutting out different sailboats and things like that. And the sailboat has a mast, and so you would want to cut that part out also. And how some of the pieces that they've already cut can even look like a boat. They love doing a lot of little boats and things like that. You'll be amazed at all the different things that they will come up with. We talk about why cities are on water and why cities all began on water, and that you see most cities that started, they always started on water because of the industry. And the first electricity was powered by water, and we'd get our food from water. Next, I show them how to do a dock, if they want to do a dock, and that how it angles to be in perspective. And that when they cut the legs to their dock, they're going in the water, and so they will be going straight down into the water. Some of them tend to angle them all different ways, and so you really express how the dock legs will go into the water. How they go straight vertically into the water. Some of your students will put things on the docks. They will put fish in the water, and they can do anything they want. They can be as creative as they want to be. So in this lesson, The elements we have learned is color, contour line, and negative and positive space. I have some student works to show you, just so you can see how creative they can be. These are third graders. And they do a great job at even doing different kinds of boats. And you can see how different each and every piece of artwork is when they create their cities. This one is just amazing to me because he's made a speedboat. He's got a person on his dock. He even has a lamp on his dock and somebody parachuting from his airplane. I'm sure your students will love making their cities and learning hot and cold colors.